All right, the second video that I wanted to run through was question 16 from exercise 9F. The probability that a car will need an oil change is 0.15. The probability that it needs a new oil filter is 0.08. And the probability that both oil and the filter need changing is 0.03. Given that the oil has to be changed, what is the probability that a new oil filter is also needed? So the first thing I want to do here is let's actually just run through the important information. So the probability of an oil change is 0.15. The probability of an oil filter is 0.08. And the probability that both oil and filter need changing is 0.3. It also tells me here that the probability that we're working out is given that the oil has to be changed. Right, so let's write down some of these key facts in our notation. I'm going to use O for oil. So the probability of oil is 0.15. The probability of a filter is 0.08. And the probability of oil and a filter is equal to 0.03. And we have to find the probability that a new oil filter is needed. So we need the probability of a filter given that it needs oil. All right, so in this case, because all of our values in the question are already probabilities, the easiest way to approach this question is to go straight to the formula. Rather than trying to create a Venn diagram, I'm going to write out, okay, I need to find out the probability of a filter and oil divided by the probability of oil. So the probability of a filter and oil, we can see in our notes, is 0.03, and the probability of having to change the oil is 0.15. Now, a lot of students get a little bit freaked out because we've got decimals in a fraction and they don't quite know how to work with that, especially if they haven't got a calculator. And it's really quite simple. It just goes to equivalent fractions and multiplying both the top and the bottom line by a common factor. And if I do that, I get 3 over 15. And then from there, I can simplify this by dividing both values by the same factor, which would give me 1 over 5. So if it needs oil, there's a 1/5 chance that it will also need a filter.